Welcome all my con maniacs to week 3 of Cap's Confessional. I am Captain Comic-Con and you are the show. Today we have a very special show for you today. And what do I mean by that? This is what we're doing. We're interviewing wrestlers today. That's right, wrestlers. Well, wrestler, not plural yet. But so far, we got the one, the only, Johnny Yuma. Yes, that Johnny Yuma right there. Yeah, that's a signed action figure, baby. You can actually get one of these from Johnny Yuma. You can hit him up at Yuma Booma on Twitter. Hit him up, see if you can get one, if you're lucky enough. Also, we also have the new Captain Comic-Con posters. Yes, that is a poster. This is what we're doing. That's how we're living. And not only that, we have RNA brand t-shirts. Yes, look at that. Boom, RNA brand. It matches the mask. That's what I do. You know why? Because I'm Captain Comic-Con. Not only that, we still have our questions. I mean, there's so much shit going on today. It's coming out of my fucking ears. So let's just get this bad boy going. Not only do we have Johnny Yuma on the show today, we also have SDCC Nerds Attack, and that is Barb. You can find her on Twitter at SDCC Nerds Attack. Check her out. She's awesome. She's at a lot of Comic-Cons. You check her out. You'll love her. So anyway, we also have returning questions coming from Ep.3. Always gotta love his questions. Plus, I really appreciate the fact that he sends them in. Like I said last episode, without you guys, this show doesn't happen. So keep sending in your questions, keep getting them into me, and we're gonna make this happen. So where should we start? Let me go ahead and tell you guys how the Long Beach Comic-Con went. It was a very, very interesting Comic-Con. I loved it. I very much loved it. A lot of my Comaniacs showed up. I was there with Douglas Freeman of RNA brand. Also, I was there with Johnny Yuma. I'll put up a few pictures, and that's actually where we got the interview filmed at. So we're going to show that to you today. Only here on Cap's Confessional. That's the only place where you can find the words of the ring. Soon to be on the show will be TJ Perkins. I'm sure you know him. And hopefully we'll get some more wrestlers on here. So if you're a young, aspiring wrestler, this is the show to watch, because he will be giving you tips of the trade. So be sure to watch, pay attention, take notes, do whatever the fuck you have to, because this is your chance. So, how was it? Signed a few autographs, bought some shit, got to see some really interesting people like these ones. Check them out. And I thought I was crazy. So, where should we start today? Should we start with the special guest appearance? Or should we start with the words of the ring? How about we just start normally? Let's start with the Twitter questions. So first off, we're going to start with Shutter.3, like always, because he's a very big fan of the show. So just out of respect for him, let's go ahead and start this off. Honestly, I really enjoyed the fact that the crowd wasn't so big at the Long Beach Comic-Con. I mean, it was a pretty big crowd, don't get me wrong. But when you're at San Diego, you're elbowing everybody, and you're just like, you're going into everyone. You can't walk. Over there at Long Beach, I was able to walk. I was able to swing my arms around, flailing them around and everything. I was able to get pictures with everyone without being in everyone's way. Honestly, I felt like, kind of dropping an elbow on somebody just to kind of get the feel for San Diego, so I could be prepared, but I didn't, so I kind of refrained from that. I did punch a few people, just to kind of punch them for no apparent reason, but, it's just kind of what I do. So, but yeah, it was a very, very different experience for me. I mean, I'm really used to the large crowds, the not being able to walk around. We were able to go pretty much anywhere we wanted, and we had a great time over there. I mean, it was an amazing event, a lot of support. I really enjoyed everyone coming up to the booth. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more conventions. We still have WonderCon coming. We still have San Diego coming. We have a possibility in Phoenix, Arizona. I will be at all kinds of places. You will never know where Captain Comic-Con will show up.
What's up, all you fellow nerds? It's a rock and roll rebel soul Johnny Yuma coming to you live, not live, whatever, on Captain's Confessional. You can catch me wrestling for NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood on KDOC TV in Los Angeles, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, SoCal Pro Wrestling, New Wave Pro Wrestling, and tons of other wrestling federations here in Southern California. And who knows, maybe I'll be coming to a city near you. On words, Captain Comic-Con, Confession, you get it.
All right. First question I have for you. Do you feel that your size has affected your opportunities in the industry, whether negative or positive?
You know, I get that question a lot, and it's, I mean, yeah, definitely. Wrestling has always been a big man's game. That's not to say that small guys haven't succeeded. Rey Mysterio is one of my, personal heroes. He's done it all, and he's shorter than me. Buffer, but,
You know what this song is?
This fool interrupted me. See, that's what happened. Little guys just get interrupted sometimes, and I think it's bullshit. But, no, my size will always kind of be working against me, but at the same time, it kind of just pushes me to work harder. I have to work harder than everybody else. I always will, and I'm willing to do that to, achieve what I want to achieve in the wrestling business.
Awesome. Do you have any tips for aspiring smaller wrestlers, like to be seen more? Because the majority of the time, bigger wrestlers get more of the spotlight and all that. Do you have any tips for them to express themselves out there?
I mean, I think fans and promoters both, especially on the independent level, they recognize talent. They, especially fans. A lot of independent wrestling fans look past size and are just interested in what kind of, what talent you have. If you've got personality, if you have something they can relate to. Being small actually makes a lot of people relate to me. There's a ton of guys out there, guys and girls, that have been told they're too small to do something, but they go to a wrestling show, they watch me kicking ass, and they see, hey, you know what, this guy's doing it, why can't I? So it's almost, small guys wrestling is almost inspiring to some people. But, any tip for anybody trying to be a wrestler is, work hard, take it seriously. This is a business, this is people's lives, this is my life, it's what I love to do, it's what I want to do. And, I think you should do everything in life 100%, or just don't do it at all.
If you can wrestle anybody, past, present, future, you name it, who would it be, why, and what would the match type be?
I'm going to have to, 2 dream matches of mine, 2. I know you said who as in just one, but I'm saying 2. Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho, separately. I mean, obviously I would love to work with them in any capacity, but I would love to wrestle them each one-on-one. Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio are my biggest inspirations. Chris Jericho is a fantastic wrestler, and he's just got a personality that I've just always been, attracted to. I'm not attracted to the guy, but, there's just something about him that makes me want to watch him wrestle, and I've always tried to take things from him and see what works that he does and see if I can do it too, but put my own twist on it. And just a dream opponent. All of his matches in Japan and Mexico, he can go any style, and he can go. And I would love to see if I could hang with him in the ring. And the same with Rey Mysterio Jr. He's a small guy. One of by far the most successful small wrestler ever, until me. I'm gonna surpass him. That's my goal. But I would just, of course, everybody would love to wrestle their favorite wrestler. And then there's a third one that a lot of people think is goofy, but I've always wanted to wrestle Viscera. He was the first wrestler I ever watched wrestle on TV, and he caught my attention. He blew my mind. I'd never seen a human like that, and I'd love to just see if I could run and bounce off him or something. But yeah, those are my 3 dream opponents: Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio Jr., Big Daddy V, King Mabel, Viscera.
Would really like to thank Johnny Yuma for the first ever Words of the Ring. Great advice. If you don't agree with his advice, then you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So yeah, I just big thanks to him. Now we also have Barb coming up, SDCC Nerds Attack. So let's get to her questions. My biggest tip for Comic-Con. Well, my number one of all time would probably be don't fuck with Captain Comic-Con. But with that aside, because that's common sense, I think I brushed on this on the last episode. My biggest tip would be to always carry a Sharpie. Always carry a Sharpie, because you'll never know who you're going to run into. You never know. I mean, if you're wearing a shirt and you have a Sharpie, then you're able to get an autograph. Even if you just have a piece of paper, it doesn't really matter. But just always carry one. It's the best thing that you could possibly have with you. It's the number one thing that I can recommend for you. But yeah, I would say carry a Sharpie. It's the number one all-time tip. My biggest pet peeve of Comic-Con would probably be waiting in line, because I remember the days when there weren't so many people there and the lines weren't really shit. I mean, you could pretty much get into whatever it was that you wanted. It was a lot more like Long Beach's prior one, but now like San Diego Comic-Con or any other con you really go to that's a large-scale event, you're going to be in line for hours. And there's going to be thousands of people in line. So if you don't plan ahead, then you're not going to get into whatever it is that you're trying to. And it sucks. And I think that's probably my biggest pet peeve, is the humongous lines nowadays. Because like I said, I've been around for a while and I remember the lines when they weren't so big. So yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve. Thank you. Alright everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cap's Confessional. I'd like to thank Johnny Yuma again. You can find him on Twitter at YumaBooma. Also, I'd like to thank SDCC Nerds Attack, Barb, for sending her questions in and being on the show. Really appreciate it. I hope to have them come back on the show again. Next week, we will have another Words of the Ring, hopefully, and possibly another People's Review. So send in those questions, get them into me, and let's make a show. Because remember, you're the show. Later, guys. Peace. Why isn't Captain Comic-Con being considered as a DLC character for one of these Street Fighter games or Marvel vs. Capcom game? I mean, look at me. I'm a fucking comic book character. The artwork's already done. You know what? This is what I want. I want all my Conmaniacs to hit up Ono, to hit up Harada, hit them all up on Twitter. Let them know. Let the word be known. Let the world be known. Captain Comic-Con, DLC character. Bitches, that's how we do it. Make it happen. Peace.